Hello, hockey goalies and skaters around the world. Welcome back to another edition of the Ride to the Rink. It's Lee, Mike, and Christie with our friend Rob here today. And we want to talk to you all about the importance of checking in on your teammates, checking in on yourself. Just being part of a great team means checking in on your brothers and sisters that are skating around you. So I'm going to bring Rob in here to talk for a few minutes about the power and the importance of checking in. Rob, go ahead.
I'll do it. So our idea is called the shoulder check, and it's literally about putting hands on people's shoulders to see how they're doing. And we say all the time, you might not always know who needs a hand, but we all have a hand to give, and putting a hand on someone's shoulder can make all the difference. So what we ask everybody to do, the shoulder check, is to say, I promise to reach out, check in, and make contact. And make that something that you can do today with your teammates, every day in the locker room or anywhere, because we may not always know how someone's doing, but it never hurts to check in and be there for that answer.
Right. And Rob, what kind of a difference can that make for each other on a team?
Sometimes we found when we started with our idea, which is about the shoulder check, is that the smallest things can make the biggest difference. And they say this a lot, right? Like sometimes the biggest problems don't get solved by one big grand gesture, but instead by lots of people doing one small little thing. And that little thing is just checking in on somebody to see how they're doing and being there for them, um, amongst one another.
Rob, you have a lot of support from professional athletes, specifically hockey players in our space. Can you just talk about, their vulnerability in accepting this challenge and how our youth athletes have to understand how important this is and how it's an integral part of, maybe their daily life with their teammates.
And feel free to name drop, Rob. Feel free.
Well, I'll tell you, there's one thing that happened along the way. This was probably during the second year. So we're going on our our fourth year now with this idea. Sorry, excuse me. And 2 years ago or last year, NBC came to do some interviews with some of the guys at the gym, and Chris Kreider and Trevor Zegras did the interviews. And I think they themselves were surprised with how honest they were when the reporter asked them, why does an idea like this matter? And you'll see it on some of our stuff. Check out our website, as Chris Kreider saying, like, hockey players are supposed to be tough, but you can't always tell what's going on the inside. And to hear it straight from those guys who are, top of the game, right? NHL All-Stars, talking about how important it is to be aware of how you're feeling and be aware of how your teammates are feeling and how that's important to team culture, and beyond just the team, just how important that is as people. It's really incredible. It's really powerful to hear it straight from them. A couple other bits, Mika Zibanejad interview, that's on one of them, where he's talking about too, like it's just important to check up on your teammates. And that is, is critical.
It's funny. I remember a time when no one could say Mika Zibanejad's name, and now we all have it as kind of a household name in hockey. Rob, on the big episode, you talked about how 2/3 of the requests you get actually come from the youth athletes themselves. That's an amazing stat. And what I want to empower the kids listening right now, because I know they're like, okay, this is great. You can actually get involved, kids. So what I'd love for you to do, Rob, is tell us all a quick story of a youth team that did this, how they did it, like what the process is, right? And it's just one example. And then obviously for the kids listening, how they can take the initiative and get involved.
Yeah. So it's exactly it. So the whole idea of the shoulder check was meant to be something that everybody can do themselves to make it as turnkey and as simple as possible. And what happens usually is we catch an email. If you go on shouldercheck.org, it says contact. The emails come straight to me. And 2 out of 3 times, it's a young hockey player saying, I'd like to bring the shoulder check to my team. And just with that, we usually send out a team kit. Team kits have patches and rolls of tape and bracelets and helmet stickers for everybody. Has a little script that you can read, or the coach can read, or the PA announcer can read if you have that at your rink. And you just kind of ask people to circle up and go out on the ice and say, I promise to reach out, check in, and make contact. So we try and make it as simple as possible. And then a lot of times, kids, depending on their teams, the rinks, the time that they have, they'll add on to it. So just yesterday, a young man, he had reached out. The way it's worked in a few spots now, where the team captain will pass it on to next year's team captain, so they make it a part of the team tradition. And this young man at a prep school in Connecticut wanted to build on what they had done in the past, so he helped his team and the girls' team. They both had shoulder check games. Where they both had the ceremonies with the opposing teams, came out on the ice and made the commitment to reach out, check in, make contact, and then he rigged up a shooter tutor and he gave kids a chance to shoot to win a shoulder check jersey, which is pretty amazing. That same team the year before actually made custom shoulder check team jerseys that they skated in for the game. So yeah, lots of different ideas. Somebody had a bake sale yesterday around their game, which was awesome. A lot of times, like a team parent, team manager, or if it's a high school, kids in the school will set up shoulder check tables at the game. And we have these little signs that you fill in that say, "I check in because," and all the fans fill them out and they hang them up on the wall. It looks pretty incredible to see all these amazing sentiments written out that are like uplifting and supportive. It's a really awesome thing to do because it brings like a lot of joy to the people that are there.
So kids, this is what I want you to do, because we know you pretty well on this show. I know many of you are sitting there going, I want to do something with this.
Mhm.
And you might be thinking, well, am I the right person to do this? Do I need to talk to somebody else? All of those are good questions. What I want you to do is this: go to the website. All right. Shouldercheck.org. Okay. Or theshouldercheck.org. Excuse me.
Nope.
All
Shoulder
right?
check.
I was right the first time. Shouldercheck.org. Do a little research here. Okay. This will be good for you. Talk to your parents, talk to your coaches, talk to your teammates. You don't have to be a captain to do this. All right. And just see how they feel about it. My gut tells me they're going to be pretty enthralled that you're bringing this to them, that you want to do something with this, and take the opportunity to lead here and bring this to your team. Because not only is it important for you and your teammates, it's important for your parents to see, for the coaches to see, but you'll have impact, and it'll impact your team in a positive way to come together and do something together. And this is one of the more important things that we all need to be doing, the adults too, for that matter, right? But kids listening, I want you to do this. We all want you to do this, right? And bring this to your clubs, right? Sound good, Mike, Christie, right? We all agree with that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Rob, love having you on, man. Any final messages for the kids before we depart?
Just never know who needs a hand, but we all have a hand to give. So check in. It's awesome. Thank you for having me.
We
Thank
all
you,
have
buddy.
a hand to give. Don't forget that, kids.
I love it. Kids, remember, wherever you're at on your hockey journey, we believe in you. You should too. Have fun, skate hard, learn something today. We'll see you on the next ride to the rink. Take care, everybody.